They head to Nashville to take on the Titans tonight, and one of the most polarizing guys in the NFL is once again going to be thrust into the spotlight. So what better subject for this week's Bur Lesson than the man himself, Jalen Ramsey. Listen, whether you hate him or you love him, I'm going to show you why you need to respect what Jalen brings to the table. Now, even though the Jaguars' season hasn't been pretty, he deserves all eyes on him tonight in Music City. Let's get right to it, the Bur Lesson. I want you to check out this cover too. Now, this is Week 17 wild card, our 2017 wild card game up against the Bills. You have a cover 2 right here. You're going to see a crosser on the inside, hitch on the outside. Oh, process of elimination, knowing that there's a high or low read, he's going to step up in front of this hitch route and get the interception. Every play, you're going to notice something. High IQ, intuition, and then pure playmaking ability. That right there, knowing the play, process of elimination, I can jump this route because this hitch isn't going anywhere. He steps up to get the interception. Here we go. Watch the high IQ. First, head moving, he's probably talking trash. That's exactly what it is. Single high safety. You know the end zone is behind you. You don't have to back up. That means you can drape all over the wide receiver. You have a glance route by Antonio Brown. And watch this right here. He's going to pull this right off the top of his mind like he's reading his brain, and he's going to snatch this interception off the head of Antonio Brown. It's a beautiful play. Knowing that the end zone is behind you, you don't need to back up. I can drape him as much as possible. Knowing the formation, it's either going to be a slant route or an in route because he's wide outside as a wide receiver. Process of elimination, high IQ, intuition. Let's keep this thing going. Here we go. And this is last week. We're going to move this on to the Colts game. This was one of the best plays that I've seen, along with this interception, of course, but against the Colts. The Colts are going down. They're down 6. They have a chance to win the game. And here we are, Jalen Ramsey. Knowing the situation, these guys have to get out of bounds. You heard of game-winning catches. How about a game-saving tackle? Check out his angle and where he's going to go. You have the sideline. You have the player. Put yourself right in between them, like between a rock and a hard place, and you're going to put yourself, this is it right here.
Colts had no timeouts left.
0 timeouts. He submarines himself, not at the player. He doesn't go for the big hit. He doesn't go for the pass breakup. My man puts himself at an angle where he's going to land completely out of bounds, which stops the momentum of swoop. And swoop is landing out of bounds, but what do they rule this as?
Stops his forward progress.
It stops his forward progress.
Spin the clock.
That's a conscious decision by a playmaker who some say is a loudmouth, who some say talks too much. I'll tell you what, whether you think he talks too much, whether you think he's a loudmouth, just respect the fact that he brings high IQ playmaking ability. He has a little bit of Richard Sherman in him, one of the smartest corners I've ever seen. His anticipation, a little bit of Darrelle Revis, and his ability to go up and get the ball when it's in the air, it's a little bit of Deion Sanders. And I know you're sitting there saying, Nate, that's high praise for a guy who just got a league. Well, guess what? Sometimes these young players are showing us just glimpses of greatness. If he can do it for the rest of his career, we're possibly talking about him putting on the yellow jacket. But until then, I'll just praise him as one of the best cornerbacks in the game. And that right there is a Bur Lesson on Jalen Ramsey,
who wasn't even 100% against the Colts.
Nate, give us a little taste. 2 young guys, Jalen Ramsey, Corey Davis tonight. Who you got? What do you like? Talk about this
This is going to be tough because it seems like Corey Davis is growing right in front of our eyes. I'll tell you why this matchup is great, though, because Corey Davis, tall-framed, wide receiver, he can condense his size when he gets to the line of scrimmage. So he can go outside, he can go inside, which gives most DBs fits, which is why you see him catching game-winning touchdowns this season, just like any other receiver in this league. But what makes Jalen so good, he's just as tall. And he can get up at the line of scrimmage, just like you saw him with Antonio Brown. And what he does, he's going to pay attention to you, pay attention to formation, understand the route, and right out the gate, he's going to take a step back, and then boom, hits you right there. And if your wide receiver is not ready for that, first thing you're going to do is jump back, which if you're a quarterback, you're looking at your guy like, I got to get off him because Jalen Ramsey is all over him.
We didn't play in the league. You did. How often do you see the mouthpiece out from a cornerback as a wide receiver looking at him because he wants to jabber with you?
Well, you're supposed to have your mouthpiece in. We all know that. It's a rule in the NFL. And the fact that he's talking to Antonio Brown, which that was 2 interceptions on that day up against the best receiver in football, Jalen Ramsey knowing exactly what he's seeing and then going with his intuition. That's the thing. We all have intuition. You're driving down the street, you know when to brake, you know when to turn, you know when to anticipate the light. Jalen Ramsey, he understands. He looks at the formation, he understands, all right, down in distance, this is where I'm at. There's only a couple plays they can run. Now let me pay attention to a split. Oh, he's wider than usual, which means he has an in-breaking route. All right, now he's taken a few steps off the line of scrimmage. He hasn't broke yet.
What about the trash talk, Nate?
He breaks
How
in.
often is the guy's mouthpiece out? I don't care about the intuition. How about the trash talk?
You get up to the line, Nate, the corner's mouthpiece hanging out, you say, here we go.
I mean,
Here we
come
go.
on.
Does it surprise you that Jalen Ramsey
Is
has
that common? I don't know that.
No, it's not common.
Thank you.
Especially for a young guy. But it doesn't surprise you. Jalen Ramsey is one of the few guys that can talk himself into having a great game. If Jalen Ramsey is talking trash, you're in trouble. Just like I say, if Cam Newton is smiling while playing football, you're in trouble. It's the same thing with Ramsey. If you see that fall, you see him start to get a little swagger, his shoulders start to bounce. Oh, boy. That wide receiver, that offense, they're in for a long day.
He didn't have his mouthpiece in when he took a ride with Carissa Thompson, so we'll have that later on in the show. That's right, she asked him about several players in the league, and he responds,
Good.
no mouthpiece
Shocker.
included. Up next, I guess.